welcome to another edition of Coda's Cove. Today, I'm giving you my review for The Pale Blue Eye. The Pale Blue Eye is starring Christian Bale. There's some other actors in here I'm not really familiar with. They're not like big known names. But what's the plot of this movie? Plot of this movie is we're going back in time. It's like a period piece movie, and somebody in a military academy is killing the cadets, and Christian Bale is tasked with finding out who's doing it and why these cadets are dying. But the interesting plot point of this movie is he enlists the help of one Edgar Allan Poe to help him solve the mystery. Now, I will say this is going to be spoiler filled, so if you haven't seen the movie, you want to see the movie, this is your warning. Although I will say, just to let you all know off rip, this movie is a complete snooze fest. I mean, I'm going to I'll try my best, Edgar Allan Poe. Kota is watching this movie that is such a bore, so his audience won't have to watch it nevermore. Yeah, this movie's slow, pacing, just terrible. Nothing really happens. Most of the movie is just Christian Bale and Edgar Allan Poe walking, talking, sitting in a bar. Boring, very few climatic sequences happen. There's not much tension built up in this movie, too, for being a murder mystery movie. It's just very boring, and I gotta say, like, when I read what the little synopsis was on Netflix, I was interested. This could have been a really interesting movie, especially like when they made the point in the synopsis. Like, part of the point is emphasizing that Edgar Allan Poe is helping in this, and it's like they didn't really do anything special with Edgar Allan Poe to make it like a plot point in the movie. I thought by reading that we were going to get a murder mystery that dealt with somebody doing something with poetry or something, so they need a established poet to help them out. Nothing like that happens. Edgar Allan Poe's just like in the movie, and oh my gosh, like all I can really say is the pacing is off. I fell asleep twice, so there's probably parts I actually missed in this movie. I'm not sure, but about halfway through the movie, you figure out who the killer is because they lay it out right in front of you so easily, like anybody could figure out. Like I said, spoiler filled, so here we go. Spoilers in 3, 2, 1. In the movie, Edgar Allan Poe finds like an old book somewhere that has to do with old like satanic sacrificing rituals. And what happens with these sacrificing rituals is the point of them was to make somebody immortal. Well, there's a girl that Edgar Allan Poe falls in love with, and it's like a dinner party. Everybody's trying to court this girl because she's very beautiful to these men. And during the scene, one of the soldiers just says something to her. Like, I can't remember if it was about her music or something. Like, she's going to be immortal for her music right then and there. You're like, it's the girl. Sure enough, it's a girl who's sick, killing these people, doing these blood rituals. And her family's tagging along to try to help cure whatever she has. And it's like, oh yeah, I had to sit another 45 minutes to find out something I already knew. Just complete boring. There is a twist at the end, but like this movie's so slow, it's not even worth the wait at the end. Christian Bale kills some of the cadets too for something that they did to his daughter. They raped his daughter and she couldn't live with the guilt, so she kills herself in front of her father. It's just, man, it's so boring. I was so upset because I love Christian Bale. He's one of my favorite actors, and I was upset that this movie. The plot, very interesting. I think they completely botched it with Edgar Allan Poe and not really using him to what you expect and what the movie kind of is bringing forth to you. Drama and tension, very little in here. There's no real build-up just because there's so much walking and exposition in this movie. And a lot of the exposition doesn't really do anything for you. There's parts where Christian Bale's trying to talk about his daughter, or somebody brings it or asks him a question about his daughter and starts to relive, but it doesn't really add anything other than to like the twist at the end, which isn't really worth the payoff because the one scene they had where action picks up and stuff gets tense, you already knew it was coming, so it's just like, yeah, whatever. Okay. If I had to go ahead and give this movie a rating out of 10, I'll probably go maybe like a 5, almost to a 4. It's not as bad for me to put to 4, but it's definitely skip this over. I mean, if you're into slow burn movies, this movie is a slow burn. It's kind of painful to get through. Like I said, I fell asleep twice. It's, hey, if you're babysitting or you got a kid to put this on, I promise you 5 minutes catching Z's. Yet overall, do not watch this movie. Pretty upset with it. There's way better stuff out there on Netflix right now. So yeah, that's all I got for you. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Coda's Cove. Stay tuned for more content. I'm planning on possibly doing a review for each of the Last of Us episodes. I haven't decided if I want to do episode by episode or the full series yet. Also plan on doing Amsterdam, which is on HBO Max. Also plan on having some gameplay videos for Warzone. So if you're a Warzone player, you like that type of content, stay tuned. Be a friend, tell a friend to come on down to the Cove because the water is fine, baby. Thanks, everybody.